about one of the players that we're most excited to watch this coming NBA season. The NBA has always been a star-driven league. On and off the court, larger-than-life figures and personalities have shaped the league's growth and the public's interest in it. From Magic and Larry to Jordan, and from Shaq and Kobe to LeBron, the NBA's big names have dominated. But despite the many different faces who have come through the league, Jaylen Brown might be truly unique. Maybe you've heard stories of Brown's off-court exploits before. Reporters often refer to him as one of the most intelligent and most thoughtful players in the league.
Jaylen, only 22 years old, I think one of the smartest guys I've sat down and talked to.
But it's not Jaylen Brown's intelligence that sets him apart, as many NBA players boast academic, entrepreneurial, and other forms of off-court success. It's how he applies it and how readily he embraces being much more than just an athlete. Brown is truly the NBA's Renaissance man. He's given talks at Harvard, made a guest appearance on The Bachelorette, and was recently named a fellow at the MIT Media Lab. He describes education and sports as his two greatest passions, and impressively pushes against the notion that athletes should stick to sports and be athletes only. Jaylen Brown was born in Marietta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. In high school, he won a state title with 2 buzzer-beating free throws to give his team a 1-point victory. He was also ESPN's number 4 overall recruit behind only Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, and Scala Disiere. Brown committed to UC Berkeley out of high school, which he says was an academic decision, as it gave him the best educational opportunities of any school he was considering. At Berkeley, he actually took doctorate-level classes as a freshman, defying the typical notion of a one-and-done. After a successful freshman season in which he was named the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Brown declared for the NBA draft. Brown entered the NBA draft as an insanely long and crazy athletic wing capable of playing multiple positions. However, scouts were concerned about his shooting, his ball handling, and his turnover ratios. Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics, however, jumped, drafting him with a 3rd overall pick in 2016. Brown rewarded their faith by coming out strong in year 1, playing in 78 games, starting 20 of them, and being named to the NBA's second-team All-Rookie team. In Brown's second year, he took a leap forward, starting in all 70 games that he played, and teaming with Jason Tatum to lead the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals even without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. In his 3rd year in the NBA, Brown seemed to grow more comfortable and expand his sights beyond just basketball. While the Celtics underachieved on the court, and Brown publicly feuded with Kyrie Irving.
It's not one guy's fault, it's not young guys, old guys' fault. So it starts from the top to the bottom, not from the bottom to the top, but from the top to the bottom.
Brown found himself in the midst of those struggles earlier in the season, but bounced back and became one of Boston's most consistent players throughout the year. However, despite the Celtics' on-court struggles, Jaylen Brown started to demonstrate his vast array of interests and passions off the court. He gave a speech at Harvard's Graduate School of Education, talking about systemic issues within America's educational system. He also made a guest appearance on The Bachelorette, where he and Terry Rozier partnered with Bachelorette Hannah Brown, and Jaylen stole the show.
What do you think I should look for in a man?
Somebody that makes you laugh, somebody that's going to accept you for your flaws and your beauty.
I feel you. That's why I've been preaching.
My girl.
That was good.
I wouldn't want to be the other guy on that date while Jaylen swoops in. Jaylen Brown also became a vice president of the NBA Players Association, the youngest of the 9 elected officials of the NBPA. After the season, Jaylen Brown was named a fellow at MIT's Media Lab, where he says he'll use the platform to explore educational reform and has even created a pilot program for that reform in Boston this year. Brown has been outspoken about not being labeled as either an athlete or an intellectual, but rather as somebody who can maintain a diverse set of interests and passions that are not only limited to basketball and education reform. He's a piano player, a guitar player, an avid foreign language learner, and a skilled chess player as well, even challenging a 9-year-old world champion. Looking forward, Brown has a reasonable shot to be an all-star this season, and he's already defied the expectations of his critics coming into the league. Brown has improved his assist-to-turnover ratio in each of his 3 seasons in the league, despite each season coming with an increase in usage rate. While he couldn't maintain the 39.5% he shot from beyond the arc in his sophomore season, his field goal percentage in his 3rd season in the league was still a solid 46.5%, and his career 36.5% mark from beyond the arc is better than many would have expected of him coming into the league. Considering the concern that many scouts showed when he was entering the league about his ability to finish at the NBA level, Brown surprised many by becoming the youngest Celtic ever to score 30-plus points in a playoff game. Brown does need to become a more effective free throw shooter in order to become a more efficient offensive player, but his defensive metrics are incredible, and as a young player, he has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the league for a long time. Jaylen Brown doesn't have a ceiling.
I don't have a ceiling.
And he predicts he's going to win the next 5 NBA titles as well.
So you win in the championship every year from here.
I don't want to jinx myself.
You already did. You already said it.
And I don't play to lose, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna give it a 5.
With the departure of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, Jaylen Brown should be assuming a larger role in the Celtics offense this year, and if his sophomore season playoffs are any indication, he should be ready to thrive. But we're not just excited to watch Jaylen Brown the player, we're excited to watch Jaylen Brown the person. Who knows what the future holds for Jaylen Brown? This past summer, in his talks at MIT, Harvard, and Bloomberg, Brown spoke about his interest in technology, education, and social justice, and it's easy to see him following in the footsteps of a Silicon Valley entrepreneur like Kevin Durant, or an inner-city educational reformer like LeBron James. All in all, Jaylen Brown truly embodies the characteristics of the NBA's Renaissance man, and that's why he's a player that we're very excited to see grow. Thank you so much for watching. We actually linked some of our content for this video down in the description below so that you can check out some of what Jaylen Brown's been up to off the court. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. This has been Matt from Just Another Day in the NBA, and we'll see you next time for more insights, analysis, and not so crazy stories of the NBA.